Hi there everybody and welcome to Block 4. Now our Pilates classes in Block 4 are going to take a slightly different structure to what you've been used to in my classes, and we're going to look at 4 parts to every class. So the first part is going to be an idea, a glow word, and today that is extension, the word extension. We're going to try and bring that into our class as much as possible, as well as taking that word out into your day and then the wider scope of what you do. So the word extension today, I want to think about how we can lengthen our bodies, how we can find more release and more extension through all of our lines. Obviously extension through our posture when we're sitting and walking day to day, all those sorts of things. So let's try and include that word as often as we can. The second part that we're going to look at is our sun salutations. So obviously we are focused more on the Pilates space, but I really love what we can take and bring in from other disciplines such as yoga, in the sense that we bring in the sun salutations. So sun salutations is all about extension really, and all about finding length and getting your body ready. So that's going to be our warm-up, and we're going to be building that up over the weeks as well. The next part is our exercise, or our action as I like to call it. And we're going to focus just on 8 exercises per week, growing obviously in intensity as we go. And I'd love to think that those names and things like that you get quite accustomed to and begin to learn as we go, and can kind of hone in on those names if there's less of them in each session. So just 8 exercises per week. And then last of all, we're going to finish off with a strength endurance core sort of piece, whether it be planks, high planks, or press ups, and we're going to sort of grow those in their intensity throughout the weeks as well. So all good fun. So going off into our session now with the extension, we're going to start with our sun salutations. So let's come on up and take a place at the end of your mat here. We're going to start off with a good big deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, falling forward. We're going to glide our fingertips down the front of our legs, and we're going to fall forward onto our hands. We're going to walk those hands out one at a time until we reach a plank. Now we're going to grip our glutes here. We're going to push our shoulders down. You're welcome to lower your knees at this point if that feels more comfortable. Otherwise, we're going to go through a tricep press, either on the knees or toes, and then up to a cobra. So squeeze those glutes to protect your back. Take your eye line to the ceiling. Then we're going to pull back into a child's pose. So none of these positions we are holding for all that long. We're just sort of gliding on through. Then we're going to put our right leg forward into a plank. We're going to keep our knee here off the floor for a moment. And we're going to come up to rest our hands on our knee, shoulders back and down. Feel that lift up through the chest. Squeeze and wrap your glutes. Make sure that your knee is directly above your heel. From here, I'm going to place the opposite hand down. It's my left hand down, and open out to the front. So really twist those shoulders, trying to shine your headlights to the side wall. Eyes up to the ceiling, your hand. And taking the hand down, we're going to rest our knee, our left knee on the floor, and bring our right leg to the front, taking your hips back. At this point, I should be feeling a nice stretch momentarily in the front hamstring. We're going to pace that leg back down, tuck our toes, come on up into a triangle pose. Pressing the heel down at the back, you should be able to feel a nice stretch down the hamstrings into the calf. From there, we're going to swing our right leg back into downward dog, shoulders back and down. At this point, you should be feeling a lovely stretch of the hamstrings and calves once again, and the more you press those heels, anchor those heels to the floor, the more stretch you should get. Press the chest down to the toes, walking the hands back to the feet, rolling on up. And there's our first side. So with our right side, big breath in again. And exhale down, rolling down through the spine, walking those hands up once again. Hold that plank, feel that line from the top of your head through your heels, and coming on through, tricep press up into your cobra. Squeeze the glutes, shoulders down. Coming on back into child's pose. Awesome, feeling that extension, here we go. our favourite word today. Extension through your fingertips. Coming on through, we pop our left foot forward this time with the knee up into lunge, shoulders back and down. From there, we're going to take our body up, press the hip down, keep your shoulders and hips square. Take the right hand down and lengthen through, extend through your top fingertips there. Winding the spine around for a nice big twist. Release the spine out. Taking the hands down, drop the knee gently and pull the hips back. Making sure as well that your hips are square at the top here, not letting one tip down. And from there we come on forward, we take the toes back and come on up into your triangle pose. Taking some good deep breaths, filling up the back of the lungs there. And pop the leg back, beside the other in your downward dog. Rolling the hands back one at a time towards the feet and gliding on up. Back to where you came from. So there you go, ladies. That is your sun salutation to begin with. Hopefully there's a few terms in there that you knew of to give that a nice comfortable start. Otherwise, you will begin to know those. We'll do that same sort of feel every time. Really good way, I feel, to get your heart rate up a little bit and get started with some length and some movement into your limbs. And now we're ready to get going with our Pilates. So I'll just pop the screen down a little bit for your viewing. And let's have a start with a full roll up. So a full roll up is all about warming up those abs, getting range into the abdominals and some contraction. So we're going to be going, first of all, with a fingertips on your front of your legs and gliding up chin to chest just to where you feel comfortable. Each time you come up, I want you to aim for a little bit more range, bringing that chin to chest. On the inhale is when you are leaning back, and then on the exhale, coming forward, coming up. Okay, so keep working with a little bit more range each and every time you come on up. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. I'm going to go for 6 more there. Exhale up, inhale to lower. And remember, if this full roll up is not your cup of tea just yet, continue with the lower range, not a worry. As long as you're feeling that little bit of warmth building up, that's all I'm after. Also remembering that this movement here is how you get out of bed each day. So really important to have some strength there. While we don't need to do it every day, a sit up or a roll up is a wonderful way to identify where those abs are. We'll go one more there. And relax on down. So I want you to stop halfway there, where you feel that grip, that sense of contraction and use of abs in that hover there. And we're going to go for a 100. Now 100, I like to pulse 5 down with the arms. So this is from the shoulder joint, not from the hands or the wrist. Okay, so 5 pulses down and then 5 pulses up. On the down, you're going to go for your exhale. On the up, the inhale. Okay, we do 5 of each, makes 10. We do that 10 times, that builds to 100. Okay, so I'm just going to slightly turn so you can see better. Up to you whether you have a more upright position here, if your abs are feeling like they're reasonably weak and just building up first time. If you do feel like you've been doing this a while and need to challenge yourself a bit more, that's where you'll aim your hip line back a bit further, body line. Okay, so big deep breath in. And we have exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30, 2, 3, 4, 5, 40, 50, 70, 90, last one, 100. Awesome. So rolling back or rolling up to relax. Good job. So what you should feel there is a sense of endurance building up, the warmth obviously lifting, which really helps to build, like I said, endurance that's going to help you to sustain that muscle usage throughout the day. If you've got muscles that can do a small amount or even a strong amount for a short time, that's not so helpful for keeping our posture intact all day. So really good to include those endurance workout options as well. So next we're going to go for a single leg circle. Now I'm just going to take my mat diagonally so I don't get caught up on the wall here. So a single leg circle, I'll start with my outside leg there. I'm going to lengthen one leg out and extend the other to the ceiling. I want you to feel the length and extension through the back of the leg for the longest limb possible. Now, if you start and you feel it's a bit wobbly, an option that you can use is to bring the foot flat to the floor for a bit more of a base. Okay, so we're going to start with an anti-clockwise action, going out, around, and up. We'll go for 5 here, 2, keeping those hips nice and still, 3, 4, exhale, 5. Cool, now you've had a turn, just pop that knee into your chest for a moment. What I want you to notice is how wobbly those hips are. So if there were lights shining up from your hips there, how well did you manage to maintain that shining light stillness to the ceiling? Was there a bit of a lean as your leg went, or were you able to maintain it? That's your challenge, okay? So make sure you're getting the breath flowing as well. Inhale as you extend. Exhale, open out. Inhale. Exhale. Keeping nice and still. There's 3, bracing that belly button to the spine. 4 and 5. Good, let's switch sides. Like I say, if you need to, you can be bringing that foot up onto the ball, the toe, you know, the flat foot if you need to, rather than lengthening it out. Also take note of the size of your circle. Okay, the bigger it is, the more probable it is that you'll have some imbalance or some shifting around. So really try to keep it at a manageable level to challenge but not let go of that bracing. So big inhale, extend. Exhale, open. Inhale. Exhale, open, number 2. I'm going clockwise here, 3, keeping those hips and shoulders anchored nicely into the floor. There's 4 and 5. Good, other way, big breath in. Exhale, 1, 2. Work in a circle shape that's appropriate for you. 3, 4, and 5. And complete, nice. Bring your knees to your chest. So with that one there, you might find that the circle, like I said, is starting pretty small, but over time, build up the size of it, because obviously the longer you lever, the more weight is brought into your core, the more challenging it is for you. All right, so that's your full roll up, your 100 and your single leg circle. Next, we're going to go for an exercise called rolling like a ball. Now, this is sort of a love-hate relationship for a lot of people. A lot of people have some fun with it, really enjoy it, quite enjoy the sort of massage element of it, but a lot of people actually feel quite silly. But at the same time, it's a good one to do because it is building up your ability to capture your abs at the end of the motion, which is often a kind of functional skill to have in your body throughout your normal everyday life as well. So you're going to start with your knees curled on up to you whether you need to point your feet or not. As a dancer and with the word extension today, I'm going to extend those toes all the way away. As we roll back, we build up momentum. As you come forward, you're going to try and sustain and hold, finding this position each time you return. Okay, so have a little watch for the first one if you like. Keeping the knees into your and tight to your chest. We roll back. We come up and hold. Okay, now the sustaining of this position is trickier than it may look. If you feel like you're managing that quite well though, you can extend the legs and extend the arms too if you like, or one or other. Okay, so do find a challenge level that's good for you. Let's crack into it. Big deep breath to start. Exhale as you go back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. There's number 3. Number 4. Use the extension of the legs if you like. 5. 6. 7, use the floor that time, 8, 9, 10, last 2, one more, and hover, and relax. I've moved out the camera a little bit, yeah. Awesome, so I hope you enjoyed that one. Like I said, it's a bit of fun, but quite like the movement and the release that it brings through your spine as well. So that was rolling like a ball. So now we're going to have a look at a single leg stretch. So you're going to be lying your back once again. You're going to bring one knee to your chest, and you're going to extend the long leg on the floor. Just hover it, or just off the floor. You're going to hover it, say an inch off the floor at the heel there. From there, you're going to switch legs, bringing the other knee to the chest. And if you'd like to add to the movement, a contraction of lifting your chest up, contraction of the abs here, will add some more challenge. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, switch, 2, 2, 3, switch. We're going to do 20, 3, and 4, and 5. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good, 9 and 10, 10, 9, 8, lifting that chest, 7, 6, keeping off the floor, 5, belly button to spine, 4, 3, 2, and 1, relax down. Wonderful, so as you should know from all my classes so far, or if you're joining us today, I always say, if you need a break, take it. If it's feeling like something's uncomfortable, if your back's starting to come in a way that it's feeling a little bit painful, you do need to stop and take a rest. Sort of take stock and sort of see if you've got anything that's maybe not working and it's best for you. Sometimes it's that your abs have kind of switched off, they've gone home for a bit, so you need to bring them into the party so the back doesn't play up and start taking all the workload from you. Next, we're going to move to a double leg stretch. Now, this is a similar sort of motion. However, instead of the single, we're working both legs. So a heavier load for the abs to build up to. So we begin, hands down. I suggest leaving your head on the floor this time. With the last one, if you do choose to do that any other time, you can leave your head on the floor as well, rather than curling one up. So we're going to start with our knees to our chest. And to begin, we're going to extend, there's our word again, up to the ceiling. Okay, so when you take your legs up, you'll notice there's not a lot of resistance here. It's sort of equaling out. Okay, then if we go for a second one, but we extend further towards sort of where the wall meets the ceiling, that will be a bigger load on the tummy. I say tummy because essentially it's a load on the body that we want to take into the tummy. If you feel like when you extend you go too low, you might notice your back arching like mine is now. That's a bit of a no-no, okay, because that's working our back, a muscle that's constantly overused, and in the wrong way often, rather than our abs getting the workload that they need to build up and strengthen as we'd like them to. So I suggest or recommend that you find a lever height, whether it be high at the easy level or lower at the hard level, that works for you and challenges you. It's all very personalised, individual to your own body. Okay, so let's give that double leg extension a go for 10 reps. Big deep breath in and extend. Inhale, extend 2. Inhale, bend in, 3. These can be slightly different every time as you discover whether it is. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, last 2, a little bit lower if you can without using the back, 9, really brace those tummy muscles, and 10, good, bring the knees to the chest, wobble side to side. Good stuff. So in the case of your back perhaps coming in at all, I'd like to just take a moment to do a little spine stretch. So if you sit forward, feet in front of you there, and just glide your hands along your toe towards your toes. just to release your back out for a moment. Well done. So there we have it with our first 6 exercises, so 2 more to go. So for this one, we're going to go onto our side. We're now going to be working our legs a little more again. So we have our side kick. Now this one here is all about stability. So in our core, we obviously have the option of working in a way where we're building up strength, endurance, or stability. There's a whole lot of different benefits that we can gain from our movement. This one, we're using a lovely leg extension, leg kick, to work or test, gauge the level of stability within our core. So if you lie out long, hold your belly button to your spine, draw and wrap your glutes together, feel like you're zipping up your bottom, and I want you to feel that stillness, that head-like connection to the front, avoiding any wobbles as best as you can throughout the movement. So I'm going to start off with 12 kicks of this top leg. The leg range is up to you. Everybody has a different level of flexibility and length and range in their hamstring muscle. So challenge yourself with a sense of power on the way up and lowering with control. Throughout the movement though, I want you to think about how solid and stable those hips can stay. If you feel like you'd like to begin with a bit of help, you can place the hand in front of you. So wrapping and squeezing, pulling up and in with the belly button. Let's go for it. I'm keeping my feet parallel. Kick 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm feeling the work through the legs here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze the glutes. 11 and 12. Good. So it's not so much about doing your highest kick if your hips and core is lost in the process. Right, so it's about finding what your body can sustain. All right, so we have other side. Big deep breath in. Exhale. 1. This time I'm trying with my hand here, which is sort of a slightly trickier option than using the floor. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, nice still hips. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Awesome. Well done, everybody. Good deep breath in. Gonna roll onto your back for a moment. And just take a breath. We have one more exercise, and today it is your hip rock and raise, heels to the heavens, another ab focused one. So you're going to be lying on your back with your heels up to the ceiling. I like to make a little first position, like a ballet first. And I'm going to be using, it's called a reverse curl in terms of its more technical name. I'm going to be using a reverse sense of lift through the hips rather than lift up through the chest. So take your hands beside you, and I want you to focus on letting the work come from your abs as opposed to the swing or the momentum that sort of comes about. So start with a big breath in. On the exhale, you're going to start the movement by lifting your heels to the heavens, lifting the heels up, which in turn will build up to lifting the hips off the floor as well. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Okay, so what you'll notice, just after having done that first little set there, is that you do get a bit of swing forward, and obviously it's that's helping your range. If you just had to go from stillness, cold, and lift your hips, you'd be using a lot more ab activation. So that's the difference, and I want you to think as you do more of these over time, think about simply getting the height from the contraction quickly of those abs. So let's just try 3 good strong ab connections there to get those hips up. 3, 2, 1, exhale. Inhale. 3, 2, 1, exhale. 1, 2, 3, last one. Awesome. So that is your hip rock and raise, or like I said, heels to the heavens. So that was your 8 exercises for today. I hope that you felt like they were a good challenge for you. They are still in that more beginner level, starting from the basics again, getting that foundation, and we will be building up very quickly over the weeks to add more challenge for you. You will find, however, that a lot of those exercises, while some of them might be challenging for you and easier for someone else, and vice versa, there'll be other exercises that are really easy when something else was hard. Okay, so it's just a really good thing to find out your own level of challenge and use your own knowledge over time that I'm offering about the level of the legs, the height of the legs, the range and the extension of the legs. If you've got your knees pulled in, it's going to be an easier workout than what it will extending the legs away from you. So that's something you can bring into your own. Obviously, I'll try and give you options where I can, but that rule of thumb of range and length of lever, that's your go-to to make it that bit more challenging for you, especially with some of these easier exercises if you're more of a veteran when it comes to the Pilates work. So our last piece today, we've done our word of the day, extension. You've seen how many times that sort of come into our action today. We've done our sun salutations to warm up and felt that length and breath and sort of starting to get into the motion. And then we did our 8 exercises. Just a quick recap, that was full roll up. So we did our little sit-ups, starting gliding up our legs and then coming to full height. We did our 100s where we did our pulses for 100 reps. We did our single leg circles and we did those anti-clockwise and clockwise with each leg. We did our rolling like a ball where we rolled back and then used the momentum to hold us up. To sustain that hold was the tricky part. And then we did our single leg stretch where we hovered one leg above the floor while the other was bent in, and then we switched over. We then progressed into the next level up of that, which is to extend both legs, a double leg stretch. We then did a little spine stretch just to release out any tensions in the back. We laid on our side and we did our side kicks, and they were all about finding the stability within your hips. And then we finished up with our hip rock and raise, or your heels to the heavens. So hopefully those are all clicking in and kind of remembering those as a manageable thing today with your 8 exercises. So to finish today, we're going to start with a plank for we're going to finish by starting, it sounded a bit round up, we are finishing off with our first plank expedition. We're going to focus on one every week and build our way up through the places with them. So starting off on our elbows and our knees. Okay, so find that plank position, and I really want you to focus on the technique of this movement, or the still activity. So shoulders back and down, push your elbows into the floor, hold the belly button to the spine, squeeze and wrap your glutes, feel those shoulder blades drawing together and down your back. I want you to find some breath here too. Oftentimes when something's challenging, we tend to hold our breath. So really find a way to open and close that lung diaphragm area there. Find as much opening as you can. And remember to feel that line through your body, from the knees to the hips to the shoulders. And we're going to aim to hold for another 10 seconds there. If you need to relax your time, go ahead. See if you can challenge that extra few seconds out of your body though. Awesome. From there, pull on back into child's pose. In through the nose and out through the mouth. All right, and with our word extension today, that's going to be the theme of our stretch. We're going to start off with an extension of the legs away from you, lifting up tall and gliding the fingertips towards the feet. This time, unlike before, the spine stretch we did during the class, we're going to flex our feet for our ultimate level of intensity there. Taking the hands over, of course the gorilla, and pulling away, rounding your spine. We'll intensify it once again. Awesome. And coming into your froggy, lifting up tall, extending out through the top of your head, shoulders back and down, and extending forward. So we'll always finish our plank work because it's all mostly core that we'll be focused on in that section. So we'll finish that with our child's pose, which we started with. And I'm just going to pick 3 stretches per time. So we've done our extension of our legs out in front, and we've done our froggy here. And to finish, because it's a very primarily core-based workout, we're going to finish with a cobra. Okay, so a little bit of work for those legs and hips after our leg work. And finishing on your front, squeeze your glutes, chest up to the ceiling, open the shoulders, lovely feeling of length through the abdominals there. And pull back. Awesome, so that is us today. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you've gained a little food for thought within the exercises as well as your idea of the day of extension. So go out and prosper, but feel that extension up through your body, through your shoulders, through your fingertips, all through the day. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the afternoon. See you later.